Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ms. Selena.
Okay, if I want to speak.
Yeah, so you need to move it this way.
Okay.
And this is on. Yeah.
Okay, nice. So, very nice seeing you here. The topic of this session is exploring yama and niyama through asana practice. And those people who want to stay, you can either be seated on the chair or on the mat for the time being. But I would prefer to have this like a more practical session. So if you can choose to come on the mat, it would be also helpful for you because we will also be doing some movements. But before we do any movement, just let's have a seat. Let's focus on this moment, on this space. Focus on your breath. You can close your eyes and just first make a deep, deep exhale. Then deep inhale. Connect to your breath. Feel the rhythm of your breath. Feel the rhythm of your heartbeat. Connect to people around you, to this whole field. And I'd like to chant first. Om Sahana Avatu, Sahanau Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavahai, Tejasvina Aditamastu, Vavidvisha Mahai, Om Shanti.
You may also correct your diet.
Shanti,
You know, whatever they sell as Ayurvedic diet, the main sutra, food should...
According to Yoga Sutra, there are 8 limbs of yoga, and these limbs are more traditionally known in West. Those are asanas.
Comment, you
we
know
perform
these.
asanas.
So,
but asanas is just one limb. So asana posture, one limb. And today I wanted to talk about 3 first limbs, which are yama, niyama, and asana. So if you imagine one limb, it's only 12% of the whole system. So asana is just 12%, yama is 12%, and niyama
Really,
is
I have
12%.
written a book.
So yama, niyama thinks what not to do and thinks what to do, or the right conduct. And there are 5 yamas, 5 niyamas in Patanjali Yoga Sutra, but there are also some other texts like Jabaladarshana Upanishad, where there are 10 yamas and 10 niyamas, so 20 altogether. But of course, we will not go through all of them, and I would just invite you, because of the limitation of time, to focus on few. And first, and maybe the best known, is ahimsa. Ahimsa, non-violence, but also it is bringing peace to the listener. So who is the listener? And when we go in asana, when we go in posture, then how do we bring peace to the listener? So if you could just close your eyes for a moment and feel, where is that peace in you? In which part of the body? Where do you feel peace, ahimsa, non-violence? There might be some part of the body which resonates the most with that. Okay. Then there is another one, which is aparigraha, which is non-clinging to things. So if, for example, we are attached to an object, I'm attached to the phone and I'm kind of holding it, but in fact my muscles get tense and it seems that it's not like I am the one who is holding that object, but the object is holding me. So aparigraha, non-clinging, non-attachment. And that is something also related when we go into asana. So again, close your eyes and feel the sense of non-clinging, just letting it go. In which part of your body? Okay, then one more will be tapa, tapas. Tapas, it's austerity, but also it stands for fire or fervor, something that makes us move, something which is burning inside, our inner Agni, that makes us do things. And it's kind of, in England they call it like jumping berry. There is a berry which needs to get out, and it's really jumping so excitingly that it needs to do something, and so it needs to be realized. And that's our inner fire that keeps us doing things. And again, close your eyes and feel your inner flame, fire, fervor, where it comes from, in which part of the body it does resonate. Resonate. Yeah. Good. So now I've talked about 3. Maybe there will be some other which will just pop out during the practice, but I suggest we start the kind of short practice, and it will be very gentle. It can be done on the mat, but it also can be done on the chair. The best I would suggest the mat. So if I may ask someone to bring one chair on the stage, please, because I also would be able to demonstrate on the chair. But as you are in a sitting position, you just first can kind of start moving your body. And if you sit on the mat, you just first round your spine and bend your neck, bring your head down, and then straighten your spine and chest forward, head back, and like do this movement for several times, just lifting up your body. And the same can be done. The same. I will be using both mics, okay?
For a long time, but we have no time now. But it is.
And roll your back and your neck several times. Proper inhale and exhale.
side. This is what I call it.
Good. And now come sitting
But
position,
you have to follow
stretching
certain
your
steps
legs.
to
If
train
you are
your
on
body.
the
I
chair,
have
just
distinguished
stretch your
4
legs
levels
forward.
of practice. Maybe the first one
And first,
ever who has done
bend
that.
one of the
So
knees,
for
your
each and every
right
person,
knee
also
linked
in my
to the
book you'll
chest,
find a
and
very, very
bend your neck.
advanced Mahayoga
Bring your head
tradition
down.
of practicing it, where the quality of food
And the other. The same way.
important. Normally,
if
when we
sitting
have
on the-
12 position, in breath, out breath, in breath, so we have 6 breaths, right? Easy to count. But as you go with a dynamic version, you're going too fast for the breath to catch up. So I was going with a speed maybe 3 breaths. I cut it half. Less oxygen, someone will say, right? More difficult. Then 2 breaths. But then eventually,
If
one
you are
breath.
if you will
You
be
take
sitting
one
on
breath
the chair,
and 12
it
position.
will require
And to
more
do it
bending
once
down.
or 20 times, I can do
If
it
you are
right now.
sitting like that,
That's
first
easy. But to
bring
do
your
hundreds of
toes
times,
over your
totally different story. So you can imagine the immense quality of your body that it has to attain to perform at that level. It's a different world. It's a different world. Okay. All-inclusive ancient cross fitness system. And this was a part of my Shiva practice of yoga. Very, very dynamic. Dynamicity to the square, you see. But then I followed that with the king of asanas, which is Shirshasana, right? Headstand. Shirshasana, that's a Shiva practice, total stability. I did, let's say, 30 minutes Surya Namaskar and 30 minutes headstand. I did 1 hour Surya Namaskar, 1 hour headstand. You don't believe, you can touch here, you'll see this bone here has grown very strong. It's much bigger, very strong here. Anyway, Surya Deva. Isn't he most important? Now, there is a mystical practice. If you do it in the morning, in India you have so much sun, facing the sun, open up your body, no clothing, minimal clothing, let's say. But let the wind, the sun rays, touch your body as the sun rises up. It's becoming like a part from Surya Vidya. Have you heard of Surya Vidya? Surya Namaskar is a part of Surya Vidya. Also Surya Trataka, Sun Yogi. I met one and we practiced. It's entirely different story. So don't forget, we always should face, if we have conditions, you know, on the balcony, on the rooftop, wherever you can, facing the sun in the morning. This is, in short, down below you see the sequence, 12 asanas. Crest jewel of exercises. This is tremendous preparation. Most people are not ready for static asanas. They just like to sit in that and do that, but they do everything but yoga. You know, yoga is extremely effective tool, extremely, but you got to do it and practice it properly. Otherwise, you will do 10 years and no experience will come. 20 years, I know so many Iyengar style students in, you know, in Europe, in the West, Iyengar, the power, you can say, muscle style. I asked them about some experiences. They don't know what I am talking about. You see, so you make sure that you practice yoga. It may look like yoga. I call it a peephole yoga. You didn't go for a proper teaching And you just, like a peephole, like through a lock, in the door. You're just looking, I see, he did this, this, and that, you see. But no idea, because the bhav, inner bhav, is most important. All right. It's a form of worship. Please read it. We'll be moving now quickly. 12 asanas. Later on, pranayamic breath, ujjayi joints. Basic component of hatha yogic sadhana. All of these are also in Surya Namaskar. It's a unique application for Shatkarmas of this tradition, but no time to go in details. Temporal changes during yogic practice, arousal, reduction of physical, mental well-being. Someone comes for 1, 2, 3 yoga sessions. Later on, 2, 3, 4 months, mind-body awareness, resilience, self-regulation, and then a few years, psychological, and finally, philosophical transformation. Professor Satbir Khalsa from Harvard Medical School says, look, it doesn't matter when people come on the mat, they have no idea. Normally they come maybe to stretch, to feel better, just to feel better. So they don't have great spiritual, goals in there, but it doesn't matter because it works. It will get to them. Maybe it will take, half a year, maybe a couple of years, but it works. So the impact of yogic practices, it's, in summary, something like that. Up above, I would add now diet, because our diet is so messed up that we need to do something about it. Optimal peak performance in anything and everything. As a student, intellectually, on a physical level, mentally, and so forth. Dynamic Surya Namaskar, you can pick something else, but if you find something more effective, please let me know. Ultimate diet, 40%, and Ashtanga Kriyas, which is based on Panchakarma and Shatkarmas. Ability to purify our bodies. If it is replete with toxins, you can do many other aspects. You'll not make much progress. And in yoga, Kriya concept is very strongly emphasized. I found at least 50 different styles, but we are focusing here on the 12. Here is the sequence of asanas. I'm talking about 4 levels for beginners, 3-4 breaths per asana. Then the second level, third level, advanced for spiritual practitioners, and the fourth level, extremely high intensity, but don't mistake that the physical intensity means no spirituality in that. This is most advanced, the intensity of the practice and the inner desire to reach the goal. Where are you going in life? Where are you going? If you are not clear about it, then you will never reach the goal. So in yoga, where are you going? In Surya Namaskar, where are you going? Be clear about it. In Surya Namaskar, list again all these things, 21 reasons why and so forth. So we have to move quickly because my time is moving quickly. See, each and every asana, but it is clearly described in the book. So many, about 12 most important points. And you go initially at the first level to really master the structure. It means that each and every posture is performed properly, so you don't learn the wrong way, okay? It is connected with the chakra, focusing, and breath, inhale, exhale, like that. Here was me practicing some time ago, but we'll not play that movie here. It was on the rooftop in Benares. You know, one of the meanings, secret meanings of hatha is rigorous and forceful. And I don't know a better yogic practice than Surya Namaskar in this fashion dynamic, which is so forceful and so rigorous. You try it. You try to do one round of 12 in 7.5 seconds, and maintain that speed for 2+ hours. You'll see what it takes. But slowly, slowly. Now, you would say, well, this is your concept. No. With the help of Dr. M.M. Garote, who is the head of a wonderful repository of Indian Hatha Yogic lore, his institution is located in Lonavala, near Pune. I know that place very well. Another institution, Kaivalya Dham, is located there as well. He found Hatha Bhasya Padati, but one of the siddhas mentioned in Hatha Pradipika, Kapala Kurantaka, and he recommends this rigorous practice in thousands of repetitions, not just of Surya Namaskar, but other yogic practices. So we take it very easy, very slightly. But if you want to become like a siddha, great Nath tradition, the great siddha tradition, that's the way to go, to move forward. Okay. Raja of Aund, you probably heard of him, wonderful story. He brought back again, 20 minutes left. Okay. He brought back that fantastic tradition to our attention. Okay, here is some research, just showing that, look, at the maximal level, the Surya Namaskar is, of course, the middle one, yellow.
As well as on all.
The maximum practice
The practice
checked
is unique
on a
and little known.
cycloergometer.
It is
Look, there is no P difference,
a long-time
means
practitioner of the method.
there is no difference in statistically saying between red and the yellow, but there is difference between the green and the yellow and the red, as you can see.
And of many scientific
So-
articles on the subject.
It means that doing with that kind of intensity, you are performing almost at your maximal level throughout the whole practice. Amazing. No other practice physically you can withstand. Talk to the best sportsmen in the world. They can't withstand it. So showing another research, you can quickly read it.
Since Surya
For a period
Namaskar
of 20 minutes, submaximal levels were reached. This can be extremely effective means of training in order to increase physical performance and fitness in general. And we are
enthusiastic
talking
at the
all
end of
muscles
the session.
here, the upper griddle and lower. See the improvements after 3 months of practice. Chest circumference, differential between in-breath and out-breath. It is all from I have done PhD studies. Look at this, maximal upper limb strength improved in those 12 weeks, 15%. Maximal lower level limbs, 29%. Upper limb strength, endurance we are talking, 275%. That's tremendous in just 3 months. Look, the endurance of the abdominal muscles, 35%. Endurance of the back muscles, 11%. Why it's such a difference? Because usually back muscles are the strongest muscles to maintain the position. Here the flexibility, 78% improvement. Physical efficiency index, it is where we measure cardiovascular efficiency. It is a step-up test, 51 centimeters, a chair or something, up, down, up, down, up, down, for 5 minutes. Try it with a clock, 60 times per minute. Try it. You'll see where you get. Fantastic improvement. Upper limb strength endurance. Aerobic power tests and power in watts improved. Vital capacity, also very important parameter, tremendous improvement, 25%. And here are the books, 2 books, Indian editions, and the one on the left, Surya Namaskar, Sun Salutation, published by Motilal Banarsidass. It's the one to really get it now, because it's very expanded. I talk also about my long fasting, 42 days fasting on water, but 23 days out of 42 were without water. At that time, I broke Guinness World Record by 4 times. They say that after 6 days without water, humans die. But I lived 4 times longer. And that immense capacity was developed by Surya Namaskar practice. So you will read that. Now there's also international editions, and we probably need to end it here and try the, please play the video now. It's with sound, please.
Surya Namaskar, or Dynamic Sun Salutation. It is a multidimensional practice, one that has a very positive effect on physical and mental fitness, as well as on overall health. The practice is unique and little known. It is inspired by the knowledge and experience of Dr. Krzysztof Stec, a longtime practitioner of the method and expert on the subject. He is the author of the only book on dynamic Surya Namaskar and of many scientific articles on the subject. I myself introduced a regular practice of the dynamic Surya Namaskar method into my life, and I would like to share the method and benefits with you. The sequence of positions presented here is called the Rishikesh series, and it is based on the work done by the Bihar School of Yoga. Since Surya Namaskar practice is designed to leave the practitioner feeling energized and enthusiastic at the end of the session and not exhausted, it should only gradually be intensified by increasing the pace and number of repetitions in a measured and progressive way. In fact, with regular practice, you will find that this dynamic Surya Namaskar method is generator of great energy, so that you will be able to tirelessly perform your daily duties from early morning until late in the evening. The first step is to master all the positions. They are as follows: Pranamasana, prayer pose with hands folded on the chest. Hasta Uttanasana, raised arms pose, a position that stretches the front of the body. Padahastasana, hand to foot pose, forward stretch with hands at the feet, improving the forward flexibility of the spine. Ashva Sanchalanasana, equestrian pose, with one leg in a stride position, opening the front of the body, stretching the pelvic region. Parvatasana, mountain pose, also called downward facing dog, with the head down, the body takes the shape of an inverted letter V. The position strengthens the wrists, stretches a great number of trunk muscles and helps to adjust the spine. Ashtanga Namaskar, salute with 8 parts pose, a position that strengthens the chest and shoulders. Bhujangasana, cobra pose, opening the front of the body, it strengthens the deep back muscles and increases the elasticity of the lungs. Then go back through the same positions in the reverse order to the starting position. At the first level of practice in each position, you hold the position for a few breaths, paying attention to the specific features of each asana, analyzing and adjusting your posture, and becoming aware of the feelings that arise. It is important to remember that in the first round, it is the left leg that steps backwards first, and in the second round, it is the right leg that goes first. After mastering the basic sequence, you can move on to the second level of practice, which involves the synchronization of the body movements with the breathing. At this level, you can develop your awareness of the effect of the breathing on the different poses. Observe the expansion and contraction of the body as you breathe and perform the asanas. Observe the air in the nostrils, or even practice more advanced Ujjayi breathing at the same time. The best way to progress in practice is to try to increase the number of repetitions of Surya Namaskar first, rather than increasing the speed. healthy person should eventually be able to do 108 rounds of Surya Namaskar relatively easily. You can start the third level of practice when you do not have any problems with smoothly executing the positions and the transitions between them. Level 3 is a method of performing sun salutation in synchronization with the breathing as at level 2, but at the same time focusing the mind on the chakras and repeating the prescribed mantras. The fourth level of practice primarily works on increasing pace and intensity. At this level, the practice takes the form of an intense aerobic training, and for that reason it is called dynamic Surya Namaskar. This is the most advanced level when the breathing cycle is slower than the body movements. Traditionally, the aim is to perform 108 rounds of the dynamic Surya Namaskar, which at level 4, at a fast pace, can be achieved in less than 15 minutes. The best adepts are able to perform 1008 rounds in just over 2 hours. With persistent, regular training, it is possible to achieve a pace of 7.5 to 8 seconds per round. The fourth level makes Surya Namaskar a purifying practice where toxins accumulated in the body are expelled with great intensity. Dynamic Surya Namaskar enables you to develop to an amazing degree the strength and endurance not only of the body but also of the mind, but doing so requires commitment and dedication. That kind of practice also develops tapasya, or intense desire for spiritual practice. The Dynamic Surya Namaskar book mentioned here and the scientific articles are a source of objective and verified information about the positive effects of the practice on both physical and psychological health. The primary purpose of the practice of sun salutation is the prevention of cardiovascular disease and ailments of the musculoskeletal system, but the practice serves also to increase immunity, enhance mental health, and provide an effective tool for coping with stress. Information about some publications will be included in the description of this video. The practice can also be adapted in accordance with the tenets of the Ayurvedic medicine tradition, depending on which dosha needs to be balanced. Information on how to do this is to be found in the book. Practice in the morning strengthens us, builds up our energy, and gives us a positive attitude for the forthcoming activities of the day. For me, it is a way to polish my character, improve my self-discipline, and increase my physical and mental strength. Persistent, long-term practice is an inseparable part of my self-development path. I do not treat this practice merely as a physical fitness training. It is much more to me. I recommend that you see for yourself what the beneficial effects of this ancient 5,000-year-old practice are and integrate the practice into your own life. At the end of the practice, it is advisable first to slow the pace down and return to a synchronizing of the body movement with the breathing. And then to stop and remain in a standing position for a few seconds. Finally, an integral part of the practice is to experience deep relaxation through laying down in Shavasana or the dead body posture. This provides the opportunity to integrate your experience of the dynamic Surya Namaskar practice and to allow your physiological parameters to return to normal. I hope that this video will encourage you to practice dynamic Surya Namaskar. I wish you a fruitful practice.
literally 7 minutes left. I had to choose whether we just do physical practice without much knowledge, or rather give you some background. The video is available on YouTube. There are many videos on Surya Namaskar, but you can find this one. You know, you've seen it. Which one? Dynamic Surya Namaskar. And you'll have the basic instructions, and if you want to get more deeply into the practice, if you want to reap the benefits, please, you can contact me. There is my email address on the editor's page. So perhaps now we have a few minutes. If there are any questions, I can respond to the questions. And then we have to end the session, because I think 12:20 is the end of the session. So what, shall we do one round? If there are no questions, then we can try to do one round.
With its central sun and its planets, and note how every single cell is like a small hologram of the universe. Light and space, space and light throughout the whole universe, expanding and contracting. And just stay with that, which manifests into light. Stay with that nurturing, manifesting space, and then let the light surround you, cocoon you, nurture you like a mother, fill you with kindness, compassion, fill you with the light of energy that surrounds the whole planet, surrounds the whole solar system, surrounds the whole universe. Feel yourself caressed by the motherly nurturing of the light within every cell in the system. And then, like a veil, wrap the light around you, like a cocoon, nurturing, loving, bringing energy to the whole system. Take a few breaths here. into the central silence of the breath, moving into the power of the breath, the life-giving force that gives you awareness. And then just using the light of the heart to spread to your family, sending love, sending energy to the people that are close to you. And then extending a little bit further, like you extend a little bit further in your asana, and move to your community of interest. And then move to your community of concern. And then move throughout the planet to the places we know need our love, need our energy, need the prana of healing, loving, repair, compassion, and reverberate that energy to the places in the planet that need our positive wisdom. And then when you've spread your balm of healing, move to the ecosystem, the animals and the plants, the whole of the ecology that sustains us, nurtures us, holds us together. And then just letting go, coming back into the body, coming back into the heart, just bringing that light and compacting it back inside the heart, able to reach out at any time. Back into the body, feeling the air on the skin, feeling the weight of the body, the weight of the bones, the weight of the flesh and the fluids, all the elements that constitute the body. And then when you're ready, begin to move the fingers and the toes again. And feel the spine, and know that beneath the spine is the mat, and beneath the mat is the floor, and beneath the floor is the earth, and the earth that holds our ancestors reverberates with strength through our whole being. And then when you're ready, raising the right arm over the head, rolling over onto the right-hand side, bending the knees. And just observing how you feel. And then taking the left hand in front onto the floor and using the left hand to support you and come into a seated position on the mat. And finishing off as we started with 3 Oms. Inhaling. Namaste. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Gratitude to Ms. Selena for her guidance on asanas, yam and niyam, and to Ms. Kareen for leading us through meditation. Your expertise and efforts have enriched our practice and nurturing both the physical and spiritual aspects. Thank you both for your valuable contribution. And now, thank you so much. And now, we will be having a short break and resuming the session on arts and science of well-being. The first session that we will be starting will be art and science of Surya Namaskars. So I request everyone to be in hall by 11:20. Thank you so much.
No, nothing? Well, I will give you a little clue and you think more. Conception, it's not two, but it's three. That's your tradition. So the mother, the energy of the mother before conceiving a child and a father, their energies, their practice, mantra repetition and so forth is very, very influential what quality child will be born. And Swami Veda Bharati claimed that he had those parents. They were Sanskrit teachers, Sanskrit scholars, so they knew all of that intimately. Basically, he never went to school, regular school.
you, sir.
Namaste. Oh, so the movie you can keep, the rest it's mine, and it is on YouTube. So if anyone you can find it, there are many other Surya Namaskar sequences. But having this one,
What they
you
have
can
to
find
search?
Ladies and gentlemen,
on YouTube. Dynamic
so now
Surya
we are
Namaskar.
just having one introduction
And
of
then,
Guru
you see the title of
Yogi
this
Baba
one,
Adnanji,
because
and
I'm
we'll be
saying
playing,
there are maybe
he is
50
online
Surya
with us,
Namaskar variations.
so we'll be playing, keeping him online, and after that we'll head towards the lunch. So I would request to just sit for 5 minutes and we'll start the introduction of him.
I think
Thank
it's
you.
really worth it that Indian students learn this.
Thank you so much.
Guru and Master, Yogi Baba Adnan Anand. He's also known as Mesopotamian Yogi, was born in the beautiful city of Mardin, Turkey, the cradle of various civilizations, cultures, and religions, which live in harmony and unity. Obviously, this culture richness of his homeland nourished his soul and existence, and he threaded his life journey through matching the logical aspects of the Occident with the emotional aspect of the Orient. This led him to choose the ancient yoga philosophy as his path of existence. And after attending many trainings and programs and learning yoga from various teachers, healers, gurus, and masters all over the India and in the Far East for 10 years, he dedicated himself to serve humanity through yoga. In 1996, he started to teach yoga in Istanbul, Turkey. And in 1997, he established and founded a yoga school, which he named after one of his gurus' school, Siddhashram Yoga Center. He is a Doyen master who started and spread yoga in Turkey. In 2012, he founded a non-profit yoga foundation in Turkey. He owns an authentic ashram in Taurus Mountains of Alanya, Antalya, where he teaches classical spiritual yoga together with his wife and the other master of Siddhashram Yoga Center. Madam Lord Kabok, other than teacher training programs, they also host yoga purification camps in this ashram, which is the only authentic ashram in Turkey. Master Yogi Baba Adnan has an autobiography called Without Disturbing the Silence, The Life Adventure of Mesopotamian Yogi, published in 2008. So I would like to connect with Yogi ji. So the stage is yours. Yeah. Thank you.
Sending my best regards from Istanbul, Turkey, to all my brothers and sisters in Ukraine, to our yoga family. I am not physically there, but my heart and my mind, all my emotions are with you. I am sure you are having good time together as brothers and sisters. So I am enjoying to feel that you are doing that, and I am with you. Today, the subject as a yoga, I keep thinking that actually the first yogis of Himalayas, the rishis, discovered yoga, and by Patanjali, we received the whole package as Ashtanga Yoga, and we practice it today. In my practice experiences, I realize and I believe that man discovered yoga, the rishis, but then yoga has discovered man. Because by practicing yoga, we start scientifically to understand that man has 7 layers down to the atom. Man has 72,000 pranic energy channels, like the nerve system. This is the science of yoga, which is telling us what man is. So actually, yoga has discovered man. It is a very powerful system. I personally, since my childhood, I have practiced artistic activities, sports, folklore, artistic gymnastic, swimming, volleyball, walking, dancing, pantomime, practicing Tai Chi Chuan, Chinese yoga, practicing Sufi rituals, zikr, and many other activities, which I have benefited from all of them, which I am very happy and thankful. But when 40 years ago, yoga entered my life, yoga became like my skin. I cannot take my skin off. It is like it became me. I became yoga. I cannot think anything else or behave differently. It is the consciousness of oneness. It is so great. It is so humane. It is so real. So we cannot escape of the truth. And yoga has brought this so clear, easy to understand. All other religions in the world and cultural, religious practices are also correct and good. In time, they came, they served humanity. But by the time they lost their power and effect because the leaders or the, humanity has used them as power tool. So they will say, my religion is better than yours, my God is bigger than yours, and there's separation. Unfortunately, the biggest disasters of the world came by this animosity of separation of religion. But in yoga, there is no separation. Yoga is unity. Yoga talk of oneness. Yoga means one, to become one with yourself and then with the universe, with the creation, to realize the oneness. So there's no separation. There's no animosity. There's no differences. That's why the only hope I personally have for the world peace is yoga. I respect all the religions. All the religion has good path. They talk good, they meant good, they have also fasting, they have also practicing, but they have the separation. They think, my religion is better than yours. Then I say, stop. The whole world, as yoga described it, this actually is described by Sufism as well, that we are all one. Everything comes from the creation. Everything is whole. So now, when we know by practicing yoga, the truth is that the whole universe, the nature and man, the animals, the insect, the earth, the water, the fire, the stars, the moon, everything is one body. We cannot hurt each other because there is no each other. Everything is one. If I hurt the animal, I cut the tree, I'm cutting my own self. I'm hurting myself. When we realize this truth, when you come to this consciousness, we become human. And yoga is the most powerful and scientifically open and very clear to explain and prove that this is what life is about. To become human, as us in this body. We're born as a human body, but as long as we don't realize the oneness, we don't become human yet. We are babies. Only when we realize the oneness, which yoga say, yoga is unity. Unity with your own bodies, 7 bodies, and then unite with the creation. When Shakti awaken, and you realize the whole, the oneness. So, this great opportunity is yoga serving humanity should not be missed. Today, probably 300 to 400 million people in the world are practicing yoga. Thank God. Most of them, unfortunately to say, they practice yoga physically, like a sport. But anyhow, by the time, if they continue practicing yoga, they will clear their system. Slowly they will realize that yoga is not a sport. It's much more deeper than that. So anyhow, I say, even if they practice a sport, they get physical health. Mental clarity is better than nothing. So they should practice even yoga as a sport. But most of the people in the world today, by study yoga, Ashtanga, Yama Niyama, especially because Yama is harmonizing the person from inside and Niyama from outside. So you harmonize your inner and outer world by Yama Niyama. So you become one. By practicing Jnana, the knowledge, by practicing karma, serving, by practicing bhakti, believing, following a master who is representing the truth by bhakti, and continuously using the breathing system with the asanas. Because in sport, which are very beneficent, when we do sport, all the sports are wonderful. They bring power, physical health, bring you happiness by sweating, clearing toxins from the system, but nothing like yoga, because yoga, asanas, massages the internal organs, activating all the energy body, purifying the channels, and unifying the whole bodies by Pratyahara, getting in, not staying out, because all the sport keeps you outside, visually, which is Saguna yoga. But we have to enter Nirguna level, which is the inner world, without any symbol inside. So we are fortunate, I personally think I am very fortunate. I came across the yoga system. Now I became me, human. Identify humanity in the heart, in the consciousness. And everybody we touch in our system now, because as I tried to, I believe that I have to serve, because yoga taught me that to become a yoga, it brings responsibility. If you realize what yoga is, which it makes you realize, you become responsible of expanding and spreading yoga, teaching yoga. Why? Because you have benefited from it so much. Everyone should benefit. So you have to teach. You have to talk about it. So I have been doing it for 25 years in Turkey. Actually, I am one who spread yoga in Turkey, because when I was living in the States and I started to practice yoga, I realized how important the system was. I left all my life, I mean physical life, and I moved to Istanbul to spread yoga. And I've been working on it, and thank God, now thousands of people are practicing yoga in Turkey, and also there's thousands of teachers. I didn't educate all these teachers. I educate some teachers, because in our school, we teach correct system of Patanjali with Yama, Niyama, and all 7 layers. And so we have our teachers become a servant of the society. There's many other teachers also learn from outside other countries and other teachers. They do practicing, but as long as they don't realize the Yama, Niyama and the conscious level of yoga, they stay a little more on spot. But anyhow, by spreading yoga around, many people are realizing and slowly entering internal. They realize that the peace is inside, not outside. They try to search not out, but with Pratyahara entering in the system. So I am very happy that now thousands of people are practicing yoga here, and millions of people practicing yoga in the world. And I hope and dream that one day we will be able to put yoga in the whole schools of every country in the world, to bring harmony, healing, and nourishing the mind, body, and spirit of the society. It's my dream that somehow, if United Consciousness make believe United Nations that yoga has to enter to every country, every school in the world. If we manage to achieve these big dreams, yoga system should be taught in every school of the world exactly the same. No differences. Only cultural differences should be, but yoga system just the same. Beside yoga system, we should put in the schools science, art, and health, which is sports, how to live a healthy life. If this basic teaching put in the schools of the world, I believe there will be no need or any thought of war or separation in the world. Everything will become one. We will become one. Then we will be creating a civilization. That is civilization. When there is no army, when we don't produce arms, when we don't have jails, when everybody has food and shelter, when everybody love each other, serve each other, the insect, the water, the earth, when we realize we are all one, we cannot hurt each other, that day, the world has become civilized. Civilization has to be achieved by yoga. I believe, so far, it is the only yoga system can bring peace to the world by entering the schools of the world. We have to try to put yoga in universities in every level of the schools to invite the leaders who are running us, running the world, somehow to bring them to yoga system so they realize how much time they have wasted on power, greed, anger, hate, fighting. They should realize it's waste of time. One day they will leave, this body is passing, but the soul will always be there. To have peaceful soul, you have to become a good human being. There is no hell and heaven like every religion say, but there is hell and heaven here. I say to my students, when they ask me about hell and heaven, I say, if you create heaven in your life and this world, you bring heaven with you when you depart. If you create hell in this world, when you go, you are going with hell. This is what hell and heaven is. So, it's so easy. Just have peace. Love everyone and serve everyone. When we give certificate to our student to become yoga teacher, I tell them that don't go around and say that I became a yogi. Just say that I have become a good servant. And then practice this service to the society, to the nature. And when you do the service well, then you may become a real yogi. I send my love and regards to all my family, yoga family in Ujjain and the whole world, and I wish peace and harmony to every single person, every single entity on the planet and universe. Love to everyone. Namaste.
Thank you, Yogi Baba Anandji, for generously sharing your profound wisdom and experiences with us. Now let's go ahead for the lunch, and we'll start the session at 2:20. Thank you.